Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today we're going to be making a card using this embossed image or embossed cardstock that we did in our video on the different embossing techniques. So one of my ideas was to put a sentiment, a bolder sentiment right across the top here between the two score lines that we created. So I went ahead and already pre-die cut this one because I did it right after I filmed the video for the embossing folder. And this little happy birthday from Simon Says stamp fits in here perfectly. I die cut it in black cardstock and then did like maybe, I think it was like 3 layers of cardstock, and that's going to go there. So I already die cut that. And I cut this down to be 1/4 inch smaller than an A2 size card. So it is 4 by 5 1/4. And I pulled out this die set from Tim Holtz, and we're going to be doing the rose in one of the leaves from this set. I'm going to do the rose in all yellow because I'm going to use some ink to color in some of the areas and then put this together. So we are going to be doing that. And then I have 2 of the leaves. Now I'm going to use the larger or the stem and the actual solid part of the leaf on a darker cardstock, and then the outline of the actual leaves on a lighter green cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and die cut these, and I will be right back and we'll put this together. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I added some double-sided tape to the back of this piece of cardstock before I cut out my images. Since this is one that needs to be layered together, I'm going to give this a try and see how that works. All right, I got my leaves cut out, I got my flowers cut out, and what I'm going to do is, I already started to do this, I'm going to add a little bit of color, and I'm just using the Duckling ink from Simon Says Stamp and just lightly going around the edges. I want to give a little bit of dimension to this since I'm using all of the same color. I'm going to now pop these out, and then we can start putting our flower together. Using that double-sided adhesive was a great idea because it made it so much easier for putting that together. But I do want to add just a little bit more color to some of these spots. So I'm just going to go kind of just around the edge of my flower. There we go. Perfect. So that gave it a little bit of extra dimension. And now we're going to go ahead and put together our leaf here. Now this is really delicate. These little branches right here are super thin. I'm going to try out this glue. This is the Barely Art glue, and I am going, whoa, that has a beautiful thin tip. I can't believe how easy that flows out, plus how tiny that tip is. I put this together using my regular glue, and I had glue everywhere. Went ahead, like I said, and I cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to adhere this right to a piece of yellow cardstock. To use the same color cardstock that I did the rose in, and I'm going to adhere that to that card base. That card base is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm just going to adhere this down, centering it onto that piece of cardstock there, just like so. So that gives us a nice base. And then we're going to kind of lay out our flower where we want it to be. We're going to go just like this. The thin tip on this glue is going to be great for getting onto the stems much easier. And whenever I'm working with die cuts, I love to use my tweezers. Just makes it so much easier for grabbing and setting things down. because I want to pop this up on some foam adhesive, I'm going to take the backing off of the bottom layer, and I did go ahead and die cut another layer of this flower, and I'm just going to stick it on the back because I don't want to put this down with the foam adhesive, because if it pushes down it's going to actually get stuck to the card. Since we're going to use foam adhesive, we need to make sure that that's nice and backed so it doesn't get stuck down to the card. And we're just going to go ahead and set that onto our card, and then we can go ahead and adhere our happy birthday, and this is going to be die cut in a nice black cardstock. I added some of the craft glue onto my happy birthday sentiment, and we're just going to go ahead and adhere that down right in between our score lines. And now what I'm going to do is just add some of these little gems. I just recently picked these up. They're Pinkfresh Studios Peach Fuzz gems, and they are gorgeous. And they look very yellow in here, but when they get onto the card, they kind of pick up different tones, which I love. So we are going to, first we'll lay these out where we want them to be. I think I'm going to tuck one underneath. So now all we have to do is just adhere this to our card base. Now my gems are still a little wet, so I added the adhesive right to my card front. And we are going to go ahead and adhere that to our card base. So there is our cute little card for today. And there we go. Nice little fun card using the embossing technique that we did in our previous video. I will leave a link to that video down below in the YouTube description if you want to go and check it out if you haven't seen it already. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.